Hi, I'm Jackson Aiden, and this is week 10 of my senior project report. This week was pretty good. Biggest thing that happened this week, we are fully up to date with my hours. I have, for the past couple weeks, the first couple weeks of the semester were a little slow for me, and after doing a couple extra hours every week for the last little bit, I finally caught up to 60. So I'll just be doing an hour a day for the rest of the semester, which will be fantastic. This is exactly what I need. Um, this last week's accomplishments, I got the functional username and password sign in working. I had like an idea, I had kind of the process set up, but I didn't have it working quite like right. So I'll get to demo that today. I also researched a lot and scoped my project a bunch and tried to figure out like what I actually wanted this to be. Um, so next week's goals, I'm going to get the drag and drop function to work specifically for like when the user downloads their JSON file of their Instagram DMs, they'll be able to just drag it right onto the site, pop it in, it'll process everything, and it'll make a dashboard for them. So that's kind of like the end goal. So I'm going to get the drag and drop function to work, create the API call function for specifically Instagram data. I was thinking of a couple of other graphs I wanted to do, so it might need more data than I thought, which means I just need to change a couple things in the route and we'll be good. Um, and Making the prototype Python functions. I'll probably use Google Colab just because it's super easy and just like functionally, like a Jupyter notebook would be super useful. And Drive just updates consistently, so that'll be a good tool to use there. Just and it'll help me decide which ones I want to add. Um, so lots of good sped talks this week. We had three. Um, Someone talked about hashing, which was really cool. That I like. I used Argon 2, which is one of the libraries they talked about in the presentation for my password hashing, which was super cool. I think I actually worked on that a bunch this week too, and got that functionally working, just to work with React. I did have to update some core stuff. Uh, oh yeah, using libraries on top of things can be super useful, but also it's good to understand like that there are cons to using React instead of building things from the bottom up, which was good to understand that. And I liked how Bootstrap looked when it was doing those alerts in that last one. So maybe I'll consider adding it to the stack. We'll see. I think I don't know how Bootstrap integrates with React, so we'll have to figure it out there. This week I did a lot of thinking and like researching and writing stuff up on like what I wanted my project to be because I realized I had scope creeped. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get all this, all this, all this, all this, and then I was like, what do the graphs look like? Does the user just get to sign in and look at it? Does it get consistently updated? If that's true, here's like I haven't really like listed out all the stuff I wanted to do, but I was like, oh, but I want payment. And you got to get a functional program working before you can set up payment. You have to get a functional program working before you even start thinking about email authentication and talking to somebody about like graphical design. So I'm going to get a functional project working for my requirements, and then I'll add the stretch goals of like getting this to be an actual product. If I can get it to be a working product, I will be successful. If I can get it to be um, a working sold product, then I'll go beyond what my initial requirements are. But I need to get those initial requirements first, and I had to refocus on that this week. So let me demo. I'll show you first that like some of the ideas and stuff I had in this. These are a couple of the graphs that I'm thinking about making that I'll make this week. And then these are the tasks for the front end stuff. I was just trying to organize my thoughts. But if we go to here, we're at the senior project. We go to the dashboard. Here's the sign in. If we go here to PG admin, we'll see here that test is held and the password is hashed. Um, Now, if we go back to, um, if we actually look at Postman, we can see this is the password, the Doom Guide 2026. So if we copy that, we go back into React. I just do test, and then I paste that password in. It will say, you've made it to the dashboard. And it has a couple images things. These are going to be the 4 graphs, and I need to add CSS and do different things, but I got it working. So that's it for this week, and I'll talk to you next week.